Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. You can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad and on Instagram Movies TV Mad X, and now on TikTok Mick Isn't Perfect, because guess what? Mick isn't perfect and he's quite fine with that. Welcome my fellow Big Brother fans. We're in the final straight of this brilliant, unique social experiment, and Jenkin and Tom are out of the house after a dramatic eviction last night. I'm happy that Jordan survived. It was a very predictable double eviction. I'm going to be a bit clear about this. I never watched evictee interviews since Davina McCall left presenting and interviewing evictees. Especially this year, I found the interviews a bit scripted. Oh, I don't mind about the norms. Everything's cool. Everything's fine. It is what it is. And I know why ITV are doing this with these interviews. It's because they're trying to avoid more toxicity from the public to the housemates. And that's important for the housemates' mental health. We've already discussed some of the toxicity leveled at Chanel and some of the swear words during reacting to Tom and Jenkin last night, again, especially on Twitter, was absolutely disgusting. But let's kind of react to some of the things people are saying about Tom and Jenkin. People are calling Tom a bottler because he was so angry in the secret room, saying he was going to say this and say that. Right. The highlights you saw were 24 hours prior to us seeing them live for that live eviction. Clearly, Tom had calmed down by then. But let's not get it twisted. Tom still said calmly and constructively what he wanted to say. He said that they had annoyed him, what they had been doing and saying, and that they have forgotten why they're really there. So I thought that was kind of consistent to what he said in the secret room. But as usual, it's rinse and repeat. One person has the opinion and another person has the opinion. But it's the swearing, calling them twats, calling them this, calling them that. It's absolutely disgusting. Stop taking this show so deep. It's not serious. Have a constructive view, positive or negative. Fine. Once they leave the house, calm down. Calm down. There is no need for it. On Jenkin being a disappointment to some Big Brother fans. This is what happened to Jenkin. Jenkin was swallowed up and consumed by the process. It's clear. It was too much for him. He came in on launch night, a fun guy, but he got drenched in a sea of negativity. We remember him and Chanel sitting there talking, having a go about other housemates. Because they secluded themselves and they started getting paranoid about Trish and other housemates, it became a habit to become negative. And Jenkin never really got out of that negative kind of energy. He was swallowed up and intimidated by the process. By the way, it's an easy thing to happen. You've never been in a reality show. You don't know what it's like to be in that process. And there's no more challenging kind of scenario and reality show like Big Brother. It's very polarizing because at the same time you're there to make connections and make friends, but they're also your adversaries. You've got to nominate them. You've got to last, more than them. You've got to outlast them. It's a very difficult thing to survive. So you can tell from Jenkin, he's a nice, fun young man. He's naive, he's from Wales. He's probably led a bit of a sheltered life. I liked Jenkin. I didn't dislike him. I didn't hate him. In terms of Tom, he never really did enough. It's ridiculous to me that he outlasted someone like Hallie and other people. It's crazy some of the people who have lasted to the final week. And I'm having a recurring nightmare that Noki could win this show. But why? Noki is a beauty queen, right? She's a pageant queen, right? She had a built-up fan base before she came in. And the truth is, mostly she gets cheers on a Friday night. I think, she's an underdog, but don't knock you out at this stage. So what's going to happen? So it's now a vote to win. That vote will freeze tonight as they evict one more person because there's 6 people in that house. I also believe they'll evict another one on Thursday night, and this is how I see it going tonight. I expect Matty to be evicted, another one who's cruised to this final week, who I believe doesn't really deserve to be there, not because he's a bad person, because he's been doing jack shit. And the only reason he had any relevance is because Jordan made him relevant because of his, confused feelings about him. Jordan is pretty much the favourite now to win this show. But what about Henry? Henry's an interesting character, by the way. I don't agree with him politically in any way, shape or form, but I find myself liking Henry because we can love people and disagree with their ideology. That's okay. Something lost on this generation today. Henry could be an underdog to win this. What about Liv? Liv is a little similar to Noki in a way. Now, you may not know this, but she has performing arts training. She's been around the industry a little bit. Something I know. I'm not going to tell you how I know it, but I know a lot about this circuit and what goes on. I've explained to you before that I grew up in the entertainment industry thanks to my father, but what I don't do is tell people who my father was, what he meant to this industry, because it makes me laugh that people go to me, look at you, you've got no followers, you've got no interactions, who do you think you are? So I think that's funny because it means people don't know who I am, who my father was, and I love people mocking me like I'm a nobody. It's fun to be underestimated. When they think you're a nobody, you can say whatever you want and get away with it. So yeah, I think Matty will go tonight for sure. Then on Thursday, I'm not sure who goes next. I think it's a very interesting final 5. And I actually think anyone could win. Now, Yimran has been the favourite for several weeks. You know my stance about being toxic about these housemates, but I don't know why people think she deserves to win. What has she actually done to earn the title of Big Brother winner? Nothing. I believe she's been putting on a performance from the very beginning. The whole lack of English and lack of understanding of English thing, I don't believe her. I think a lot of her accent is put on. I think the sweetness is put on. And this is the problem with Big Brother. You don't know if they're being their true selves or they're actually putting on a persona. At least Jordan has admitted from launch night from his VT that he was always putting on a persona. But, when we look at housemates gone by, you can see that sometimes you find out that they were just putting it on. Sometimes they're somewhat even sociopathic in pretending to be something that they're not. What do I think about this year's Big Brother? I think it's a great start by ITV. It's been good. It's been a great cast. Its production team have done a wonderful job. It's not peak Big Brother. It's good Big Brother. But lessons must be learned. I think peak Big Brother is Big Brother 1, 2, 3, 5 and 6. And we've never touched that. Even when Channel 4 went after BB6 and even Channel 5 never got there. I never liked Rylan and Emma presenting the show. It never worked for me. I think that Will and AJ have done a fantastic job, but lessons must be learned there as well. They need to alternate eviction nights. They shouldn't both be presenting it. If one should present it, then one should do Late and Live. Making these two people work 2 hours straight seems like slave labour to me. And in terms of researching people's social media footprint, they must do better because Trish's posts were absolutely despicable. I believe in forgiveness, in being able to evolve. I believe in all of that for Trish. But I won't forget in a hurry what she posted online.